I have my other one laying behind me because that's just too much for me.
Let me ask you, congregation, have you been looking? Have you been searching? Have you been praying for a podcast about Kentucky basketball and football? A show that will speak to you. A show built for you. Something powerful, fun, real, raw, and opinionated. Well, baby, open up your ears as we open up our minds. Let's do this, baby. Let's do it. Welcome to Religiously Kentucky. If it's Kentucky football and basketball, we are all about it. And we're talking about it. And we're damn sure opinionated about it. This is Religiously Kentucky. And now your hosts, Jay Hayes, the Wild Child, and J.D. Hall, the voice of reason.
Big Blue Nation, what is up? I'm your guy, Jay Hayes, and he is,
as always, the voice of reason, J.D. Hall.
And we are Religiously Kentucky. What is up?
What's going on, man?
Gosh, man, just trying to hang on like a hubcap in the fast lane.
But
yeah,
6:30 smoke. I put 2 pork butts on the smoker about 7:30 this morning. So
nice.
Yeah.
Partying at your house. Huh?
The boy wanted pulled pork for his birthday.
Nice.
Dinner, lunch, whatever today. So so I had to get that yesterday, get that on the got up at 6:30, turned the smoker on, about 7:30 they were on and going. So they should be ready here in about 3.5 hours. So
nice. Yeah.
Instead of one big one, I just got 2 smaller ones, so they cook faster.
Yeah. Nice. Well, some Kentucky news going on since we do not have Kentucky basketball or Kentucky football yet. There's still news out there. Kentucky news. Kentucky men's tennis.
Huge.
How about those guys?
First ever NCAA championship appearance after a first ever Final Four, after a first ever Elite Eight, I believe.
Yeah.
Like what the men's tennis program is doing this year is kind of relatable to what volleyball did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That run that they made to the championship. So, for the first time ever in program history to make it that far. And they got a good shot today. I don't know anything about tennis at all, zero.
Yeah.
But Virginia just seems like the type of school that would have a really, really good tennis program because there's a lot of money at Virginia.
Yeah.
And tennis is kind of that kind of sport where, the country club sport. So it just seems like Virginia would have a good program, but I mean, Kentucky beat some good programs along the way. They took out the number 1 seed in TCU to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
They beat the number 4 seed Ohio State yesterday to make it to the championship game. Or the championship match. So it's awesome to see other sports at Kentucky doing what we've expected from Kentucky basketball because of the history of Kentucky basketball.
Yeah. Kentucky's an everything school.
We're an everything school. It's not just football. It's not just basketball. Those are the 2 sports that drive everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Kentucky is a school that is successful in every single sport that they compete in.
Yeah.
And not a lot of schools can say that. So the job that Mitch Barnhart has done as athletic director and his time at Kentucky, like it speaks volumes for the job that he's done when you see what all these other sports are doing.
Yeah.
And not just football and basketball.
Yeah. Speaking of other sports, yesterday was or the day before yesterday.
Well, whenever this episode finally drops, Sunday Saturday was a huge day for UK athletics in general.
Yeah.
Because you had men's tennis winning their match to make it to the championship match. You had the baseball team punching their ticket to Hoover for the SEC tournament, which couple of weeks ago didn't look real good that they were going to make that tournament,
Right.
let alone the NCAA tournament. They weren't going
Yeah.
to make the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
So, they were down 1-0. It went to a rain delay. They came out of that rain delay just on fire and scored 5 runs in the 6th inning. So, and then, that's the 4th series that UK baseball has won against top 20 opponents this year. And I think the second one against top 5. Or they won 2 against top 5. Not that wasn't the second one, but they've won 2 series against top 5, including the number 1 team in the country, Tennessee,
Yeah.
where they took 2 out of 3 from them. So there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people upset with the baseball program and Nick Mingione and the job that he's done as head coach there. But I think that team is playing the type of baseball that we kind of expect for an SEC baseball program at the right time.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if anybody in Hoover really wants to see Kentucky, and I'm probably going to say this, and they're going to come out and get blown out by Auburn in the first game. But
Right. That's
injuries
usually how it goes.
to that team, I think, absolutely affected the course of this season, because you lose your top 2 pitchers. That's going to hurt any baseball team, no matter who you are, because once you get past those top end guys in college, it's kind of a struggle after that, almost no matter what team you are. So you got to be healthy in your rotation and your pitching staff to be successful in college baseball. You don't have a farm system to pull somebody else up from like you do in the majors. And I think, Ranjanu was hurt for a portion of the season. But I think everybody's kind of settling into a role and starting to play some really good baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we had women's softball.
Yeah. Did you watch the end of that game?
I didn't see none of that game.
See, I didn't see, I saw it, saw that it was happening, and then I forgot about it. And then our guest later on today tweeted about it. I was like, shit, I'll bring it up on my phone, and I'll, because I had something else on TV, and I was like, I'll bring it up on my phone and I'll watch what's going on. And so I did that, and it was going into, I think, the bottom of the 7th inning when I turned it on. And in the top of the 7th inning, they scored 4 runs to take the lead, 5-4. So it was kind of a dramatic comeback for the softball team.
Yeah.
And then you get to the bottom of the 7th, and it looks like all hell's going to break loose. Shortstop makes an error, get a runner on. You get and that's after a fly out to start the inning. And then there's another error committed by the first baseman, and when she boots the ball, she just kind of stands there. The second baseman comes over, grabs the ball, and throws it to her. And they had plenty of time to get the girl first. But because she just stood there, it got a little hairy whether or not she was going to get the out. Called the girl safe, so you had first and third. I believe that's what it would have been, first and third. And 2 outs. And they go to review. And you're thinking, man, they're going to uphold this call. But they show the replays, and it looks like she just gets her foot down before the runner gets to first, and they reversed the call and gave him the win. So you go from
that was the clip. You got to the clip I saw. Yeah.
Yep. So you go from the lowest of lows for the first baseman to the high of beating the regional host. So now they get a chance today. They've got to get beat twice to get knocked out, and all they got to do is win 1 game. So they win this, they're on the super regionals. So it was a heck of a day for UK athletics yesterday.
Yeah. Some other things going around Kentucky. Kevin Knox gives $2 million to his former high school in Tampa for facilities, a new field house, basically.
Yep.
Those are the kind of players that come to Kentucky.
And we're not saying that those type of players don't go to other schools.
No.
But that's one of the things that Cal focuses on.
Yes.
Is what are you going to do for people around you? What are you going to do to better the lives of the people that are around you, the people that you've interacted with, the people that have supported you and been there for you and helped you get to this position you're in now?
Right.
And, that's why he does, the Samaritan's Feet, or, that's why they do these telethons to raise money, is to kind of ingrain this into these players, that it's not just about you. You're getting put into a position to not only help yourself and better your family, but to be able to help those that are less fortunate, that maybe don't have the same opportunities that you have, or like in this situation, upgrading or building a new field house for the school that you went to,
Yeah.
so that they have the facilities needed to be able to maybe get to the same position that you're in,
Right.
to do that work that's needed to get there.
Yep. So a shout out to Kevin Knox. That's amazing. Some other things. Mark Stoops sends a bottle of bourbon to the Pope.
Seems like they're
A
trying to
signed bottle.
it seems like they're trying to get the Pope drunk.
Right.
It's like what, the third bottle of bourbon that Father Jim has taken over there to him.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, sign a bottle, send it to the Pope.
I mean,
Shout out to Mark
he's got to
Stoops.
be a Kentucky fan now.
Surely.
You would think,
Surely. Like, man, Kentucky has this great bourbon.
I got the same bottle of bourbon sitting on my shelf that the Pope's got now. It's not signed by, mine's not signed by Mark Stoops.
Right.
But maybe one night when I'm drinking bourbon, me and the Pope will be drinking the same glass of
Do,
bourbon.
do you think the Pope?
I don't know.
I mean, like I kind of do. I think the Pope might
Maybe.
take a sip. I mean,
Why not? Like,
it's okay to have a drink. I
I
mean,
mean, Jesus turned water into wine, right?
surely. I mean, yeah.
So,
Um,
and and along those lines, my wife's aunt, in one of the houses she used to live in, her front porch was taken out by a drunk driver twice, and both times it was one of the fathers at one of the Catholic churches here in town. It was the same guy both times.
Mark
So,
Stoops send
so
him a bottle
I'm
of
not
bourbon.
sure. I'm not really sure they look down that much on the alcohol consumption as maybe some other
Right.
people do.
Right. Right. Also, we also know now that Kentucky will be playing UCLA in the CBS Classic
Mhm.
this year. What do you think about that matchup?
I like it. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it doesn't. We talked about this in the NCAA tournament when it started. I don't care who we play because I like my team. I like the way the team's made up this year. You brought back National Player of the Year. You bring back the SEC assist leader. You know, you still have Jacob Toppin. You still got this core group of guys, and then you've added scoring with Antonio Reeves. You've got CJ Frederick coming back. You've got, you know, a Dutero who may or may not play this year, but as a 6'6" point guard.
Right.
So, Case and Wallace. I think the guys that we've added this year, the team is going to be similar to what we saw last year. Maybe not quite as much perceived shooting to begin the season.
Right.
But I think overall we're longer. They're going to be better defensively. So that'll help mitigate any kind of, offensive changes that there may be.
Yeah.
But I still think this team is going to be really good offensively because, like I said, you bring back National Player of the Year and Oscar Tshiebwe. You bring back your SEC assist leader in Severe Wheeler. You add Cason Wallace, who I think is going to be better than some people are giving him credit for.
Yeah.
Chris Livingston is an absolute dog. Jacob Toppin going into his senior year should have a huge jump in production because now you're not sitting behind Keon Brooks. You're probably going to be penciled in as the starter to begin the season. I think CJ Frederick's a better shooter than Grady,
And hopefully
um,
he's healthy.
and hopefully he's healthy. Antonio Reeves is a guy who I think you need to look at him as maybe the Kellen Grady role, but he can do more on the offensive end than Grady can.
Right.
He can create his own shot. He can get to the basket. Those are things that Grady could not or would not do.
Right.
And he's coming to Kentucky as a better 3-point shooter than Grady was coming out of Davidson. So,
I'm
I
I'm with you.
like this team, and
I'm with
is
you, but I want to say I wouldn't care who would be on this team. You know how
Right.
we are. We want the
Right.
smoke. We don't care who we play.
Give us all the smoke.
We want it
Like
all.
we said it during our NCAA tournament, episode.
Right, right.
Put us in a region with Duke and Carolina and all these other teams, Baylor, Gonzaga. Put us in that region. We don't care. We
And
want
then
it
we
all.
get the
Bring it all on.
Peacocks.
And then we get the Peacocks and lose. But, um, no, I don't care who we play. I think it'll be a good matchup.
Right.
Is UCLA going to be a great team? I don't know. Like, you lose your best player in Johnny Juzang, because I think he signed with an agent and wasn't coming back. But they do have a good point guard in Tiger Campbell. They did sign a Dembona, so they got some size. But it doesn't.
We don't give a damn. We don't give a
Scare
damn.
me. No.
What else is going on around Kentucky? I'll tell you what
I
else
have
is
no
going
idea.
on.
Man, I have no idea. Like,
I
there's not a lot of stuff coming out.
I'll tell you what's going on. Will Levis versus Oscar Sheboy in Fear Factor.
Yeah, and you already called the bugs.
Yeah, hey, who would win in that? Or rather, because they're on the same team. How about Will Levis and Oscar Sheboy versus any two players from any school in college?
I think we're winning that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Oscar was eating spoonfuls of bugs,
right.
and you had Will Levis ate a rotten banana last year,
and mayonnaise and coffee.
right? Like, it's yeah. I don't think there's a team in the country that will put two players out against those two that would have any kind of competition for them.
Right.
But it would be a hell of a charity event for them to put on.
Right. Say Will Levis and Oscar team up to do a TikTok. What does that look like?
Will Levis eats the bugs, Oscar eats the banana.
Yeah. And Will Levis tweeted out,
he did.
Oscar, bring back some
bring some back for me or whatever it was. Yeah. So
I don't know if he could do that. Maybe.
I don't know. Is there customs restrictions on insects?
Maybe.
Or I don't know. But what kind of bugs were those?
I don't know. I'm not for sure. I tried to look it up, and I saw like the caterpillars were like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like
well,
a big thing.
tarantulas,
but I read about it, and they're like really, really good for you. Like super good and he was the national player of the year. So I have to go with eating the bugs. I mean, like,
I don't know if eating the bugs made him national player of the year, but it did definitely show that he's not afraid of anything.
Right.
Right. So if he can sit there and eat spoonfuls of bugs, I don't think there's anything on the basketball court that's going to affect him or
right. I thought about it though. Like, I try to weigh it in my head, and like just the overripe banana is just more disgusting to me than the bugs. And that's why, and especially when I read that how healthy they were for you.
Well, it depends too on
everything with, I mean,
on
like,
how you season up the bugs. Right.
Right. I'm putting hot sauce on it.
You should see the look that I'm seeing right now when I say season up the bugs. But we took the kids, they were probably 7 or 8 years old, up to Lake Erie, to Maggie Marsh, and they had a visitor center or whatever there. And they had different types of mealworms.
Right.
And trays or whatever for the kids to try. Like, there was like nacho cheese
consumption?
and to eat like nacho cheese, chocolate covered. They had chocolate covered crickets. Like, they had all kinds of bugs at this visitor center for the kids to eat, and the kids ate them all. They ate them all.
Right.
And the cheese ones, they said they tasted just like Cheetos.
Right. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I ate a bug yesterday mowing the lawn. Like, flew right in my mouth.
But that wasn't on purpose, right?
I mean,
so how'd that taste?
Like, I mean, it went through my head. Like, okay, I'll just do the bugs. Like,
so apparently you don't need them to be seasoned to eat them.
Right. But I
or
would put
cooked. You'll eat them raw.
hot sauce on mine. I'm just saying. But, yeah, if we get a chance, would you do the overripe banana and I'll do the bugs?
Can I say no?
I mean,
Since you already
you
called me out on Twitter about it and said that I had to do it.
you can say no, but
So I can say no, but it's not happening. Or it is happening.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know where I'm gonna get bugs, but I'll look around.
Just go to the pet store, get some crickets.
See, I
See,
want the ones
but
I want
but
the
now
ones that
you want
Oscar ate.
you want the ones that Oscar had.
Right.
But where are you gonna get a bucket full of African bugs?
I mean, I don't know.
Right?
I'm gonna have to
You might have to go to, like,
maybe Amazon.
maybe.
You get anything from
You're gonna have
Amazon,
to you
right?
you're gonna have to do a search on
Right.
Google to find out who's gonna supply bugs that are edible,
Yeah.
mealworms or something like that.
Whatever,
So
yeah. Yeah, so Oscar versus Will in Fear
right.
Factor, they would take on win against anyone in college.
You could probably get mealworms at, like, a bait and tackle store, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Um,
you can do that, so you'll be good. It's probably better than a
I mean, like,
freaking rotten
they
banana, though.
they have to be cooked, though.
Yeah. You can't cook mealworms in a pan?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could.
Throw some olive oil in a pan, maybe some couple cloves of garlic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And seeing the banana, you just eat. Like,
I
it's
just
just
yeah, and I gotta get past eating, like, the skin
yeah,
of the banana, which
yeah,
is
and it's, like, overripe. Like, you saw the one that Will Levis had, it was
his was like
or or
throw it in
you
the trash ripe. Like,
or you could do the
that's
coffee.
beyond banana bread.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
beyond the banana bread
yeah.
banana, um,
His was like,
by a
"Oh,
good few
damn, this is
days.
not good anymore."
Yeah, that's the one that you pull off, like, your microwave, like, "I'm saving these bananas to make banana bread," and then a week later, they're still sitting there. You're like, "Well, shit, I can't
Or you could do
make
the
banana bread now,
coffee,
they go in the trash."
or you could do the coffee with the mayonnaise in it.
I don't even drink coffee
We saw Matt
without mayonnaise.
Sack do that.
I don't know, maybe,
You're gonna let
maybe.
Matt Sack outdo you?
He's, like, what, 21? Like, when you're 21, you can do some stupid shit and get away with it and not hurt you.
Right,
When you're
right, true.
43, drinking coffee and mayonnaise might not be so good for me,
Right, right, I
right?
agree, I agree.
But I mean, out of the two, I don't know which is worse, the banana or the coffee and mayonnaise.
The banana, for
The
sure.
banana,
When I think about it, the overripe and
that
it just like I said, the bugs are more for
they're
me.
healthy.
Yeah,
At least you're getting something out of it, you know.
and it's got hot I'm gonna season it up, kick it up a notch.
But it sounds like the consensus in today is that I got to do the coffee and mayonnaise instead
Yeah,
of banana.
and the banana. I mean,
No, no, whoa, hold up.
eat the
It's
banana with
it's
the coffee and
one
mayonnaise.
or the other. It's not both.
Right,
It ain't both.
right.
I do have, my stomach can take
Yeah,
some stuff, but I think both of those together might be a little bit too much.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
might be a day off work. Uh, but, I mean, versus, we got some things going on out here versus like, Nick Saban
mhm.
versus Jimbo Fisher.
The level of petty and that coaching relationship now, when they play this year,
Oh,
that is
all
a
all
pregame and
eyes.
a postgame press conference that I will watch,
Yeah,
no matter which way it goes, because if Alabama loses that game, Jimbo Fisher's gonna talk his shit.
right.
If Alabama wins that game, Nick Saban's gonna be like, "See, all the money they threw at those players didn't matter. We still beat them."
Alright. What do you think
Right?
about this though? Because I mean, like, Nick Saban might have called some people out. I mean, not only Texas A&M, you know?
He went after Dion, and
Yeah,
yep. So
but he was just, I don't know, like, dry snitching. He wasn't
and
like Jimbo Fisher was in his ass.
right, and both of the guys were wrong, right? Like,
Right.
for doing that, because if you're Nick Saban and you're 30-plus year coaching career, you haven't done everything right in your entire career, especially once you got to LSU and Alabama,
Right.
and you're out here talking this shit, and you've got guys from your staff that are now head coaches in other places that know what's gone on in your program in the past. Is it smart to be running your mouth and talking your shit about what they're doing in their programs? Probably not.
No.
If you're Jimbo Fisher, you were on staff at LSU when this shit was going on.
Right.
Is it smart to be saying, I know where the bodies are buried?
Right.
Probably not. Because
you
that's
getting a look.
that's gonna bring attention to you
Yeah,
in your
'cause you
program
get a
now.
look. Yeah.
Right. So it was dumb on both sides of that argument, but I'm here for all of it.
Right. Look, and speaking of that, we're here for it. Let's hear both. Let's hear a clip real quick of both.
I know the consequence is going to be difficult for the people who are spending tons of money to get players. And you've read about them. You know who they are. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. So it's tough, and people blame the NCAA. But in defense of the NCAA, we are where we are because of the litigation that the NCAA gets, like the transfer portal. Every time somebody wanted to transfer, they'd apply for a waiver. If you didn't give them, the NCAA didn't give them a waiver so they could be immediately eligible, they filed suit. So the NCAA would back off and give them a waiver. So they just said, we're just going to make a rule where everybody can transfer. That's how that happened. So if the NCAA doesn't get some protection from litigation, whether we got to get an antitrust or whatever it is, from a federal government standpoint, this is not going to change because they cannot enforce their rules. Just like Nate said, we have a rule right now that says you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. I mean, these guys at Miami that are going to play basketball there for $400,000, it's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it. So, but the NCAA can't enforce their rules because it's not against the law. And that's an issue. That's a problem. And unless we get something that protects them from litigation, I don't know what we're going to do about it.
I mean, I look at Nick Saban different now because not only did he do that, like he was kissing the NCAA's ass, basically, like calling out, "Oh, it's in the paper, read it." Like,
Right.
really, dude? Like,
To me, that sounds like a guy that's like, I'm not gonna cause any issues with the NCAA, so they don't come looking at me.
right? Just
But
puckered up and kissed
wasn't
that
it
ass.
just before last season where Nick Saban was bragging about how much money Bryce Young was making from the NIL
Yeah.
before taking a snap as your starting quarterback?
Yep.
And now he's complaining about other schools talking about how much their players are making in NIL.
Yep.
Like, we're not stupid. We didn't forget what you said about Bryce Young.
Right.
So
I mean, and then calling out
it,
Dion's players.
it sounds like the old guy yelling, "Get off my lawn." You know, he is the Simpsons meme of Grandpa Simpson out there yelling at the cloud and shaking his fist. That is Nick Saban.
I look at him different now. Then you had Jimbo.
It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families.
He's tore up.
That they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. And it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit there and defend 17-year-old kids and families in Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit there at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable. It really is. And it's a shame we have to sit up here and have this conversation about things we do. And it's personal to us. Yes, it is. It's personal to A&M. It's personal to our players. It's personal to our coaches and everybody involved. And I know the guy. Know him really well. It's amazing that we're allowed to do those things. It's really despicable. And I hate it. For our players who are coming here, who did things the right way, have done things the right way, and will continue to do things the right way, I apologize to you that people insult you publicly the way they're doing it. And our fans, I apologize to you guys for people saying those things about Texas A&M. I promise you this: there are no violations. There are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this: when people show you who they are, believe them.
I mean, I get it, and I'm here for it. But at some point, somebody should have stepped in and said, "Hold up, shh. You might want to be quiet because you're incriminating yourself."
Jimbo Fisher, wasn't he given a show cause penalty like right after he got to Texas A&M for violations? So that's what, like, I'm here for all of it. But guys, like, you're both talking about shit that you've probably fucking done on yourself. Like, they always say, what? A hit dog don't yelp, or whatever that saying is. Like, Saban threw that shit out there, but then all of a sudden, like, Jimbo's like on the offensive, like just going. But you're a guy that has had NCAA investigations in your program. So it's not like you're perfectly clean. So both of them needed to shut the hell up, because it's not a good look for either one.
Right.
You know, like I said with Saban.
Saw the tweet that Travis Hunter put out, when Nick Saban was talking about Deion players. He was like, "I got a meal?" ? He's like, "But my mom's still staying in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids."
Right.
Laugh face. Like, what? Because he's like, "You could read about it in the paper." Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like,
and that's what I mean. Like, we're not stupid as fans. We know that players at major basketball and major football programs have been getting paid for decades. It's been happening, especially once the NCAA started making so much more money off these TV contracts and all this other stuff and bowl games and all that stuff that was bringing in money for the NCAA, where they're profiting billions of dollars as a nonprofit organization off the backs of these athletes. We've known forever that these athletes were getting money.
Now
it's just legal.
Now
it's just legal.
Right.
And these guys that were doing it behind closed doors or in the shadows to get these recruits are pissed off that now all these other schools can compete with them and do it legally.
Yeah. Saban's tore up.
Right.
But there were some more allegations on Saban. I don't know if you heard these allegations, but they're not good. Here you go. Listen to this.
I saw him with my own eyes cheat against my son at Chutes and Ladders. This man quit my fantasy football league back in the day because he didn't get Drew Brees. Think about that. I mean, what a baby. You know those Coke bottles he always has out there? It's not even Coke in there. It's Dr. Pepper. Yeah, he's a pepper man pretending to be a Coke man. Go ahead, take a swig. You'll see. It's spicy. I literally saw him take candy from a baby. I mean, he doesn't even pay for streaming services. He uses my Paramount Plus password. I'm the one that taught him the daggone Cupid Shuffle. He has no regard whatsoever. He texts with his keyboard sound on. He scrolls TikTok with the volume on full blast, no headphones. He once prank called Lane Kiffin, said his refrigerator was running. And gosh darn, if Kiffin didn't go out and buy a new fridge. I'll admit it, that one was kind of funny, but still.
I mean, like, these allegations are serious.
Who was that? Who did that?
I have no idea. No idea. CBS Sports put it out. I don't know who that was.
Because whoever did that was pretty good. That was like, for everything that happened with Saban,
light of the situation. Yes.
Right. To bring some comedy to the situation. Even though it was pretty freaking funny seeing those two guys go at each other and then getting the public reprimand from the SEC and then Saban coming out like the day after the reprimand and apologizing to Deion and Jimbo,
And that's another thing about Saban. Like, come on, man, you said it, man.
You
stand
said it
the
with your
hell
whole
up.
chest.
Hey, you the top dog. Stand the hell up then.
Right. Stand behind with those allegations you just put out there instead of backing down.
And then
If
he
you
punked out.
if you feel that strongly about it.
Right.
Right.
And then he punked out. Yeah.
Right.
So it's crazy. But Jimbo versus Nick. Who you taking?
Well, Nick's like 70, so give me Jimbo.
Yeah.
and Nick Saban's like 5'6". So he's not only is he 70, he's like just above like
Right.
dwarfism size.
So Jimbo was feisty, man.
He was. Jimbo was fired up.
Yeah.
I don't think Saban expected the backlash that he got from what he said.
Yeah. He had that oh shit. What did I do moment.
Right. Because it wasn't just Jimbo. Like it was random Twitter people like us.
Yeah.
It was college football. It was players,
college football players. Like
everybody was coming after Saban after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw people coming after Jimbo too. You know, and that's where I saw the tweet about his show cause.
Hey, all I can say is the phrase "we want Bama" will be kicked up a notch.
Can you imagine what the yell leaders are going to be like for A&M? And those goofy ass white overalls.
Oh my God.
Like it's awkward in a regular like environment.
Right.
I can't imagine how much more awkward it's going to be.
Yeah.
In that environment for that game. Yeah, I think it's at Bama this year, but yeah, I think they still do don't they still do their like pep rallies?
Yeah.
Before the game, even for road games.
I think so. Yeah.
So
it's going to be nuts, but
yeah,
we are at that time in the show. You know what time it is.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
And now it's time for the dumbest shit from Twitter this week.
It's dumb, dumbass.
Oh man, and we're gonna do things a little
different today. We talked about this on the last episode about bringing in some people to kind of run the dumb shit. Like they're going to send us some tweets, and we're going to go with the tweets that they want to go with for the dumb shit, just to kind of change things up a little bit. So our first guest today, I'm sure all of our listeners or most of our listeners know who she is. Kentucky Sass, Salena.
Hey guys, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Good. How are you?
Great.
Thanks.
Even though I think this whole show could have been on this segment, other than the Kentucky news. Yeah,
for sure.
We tried to do this a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, here we go.
But we had the technical difficulties.
Here we go again.
It wasn't just you, Jay. Like my AirPods wouldn't connect either. They broke temporarily.
There was a whole mess of stuff going on that day about, okay, is this going to work? Are we going to be able to do this? And then, her side got cleaned up and she got those connected. But then we get in and nothing's working on Jay's end.
Yeah.
So we tried, but we got it done. We got it going. We're doing it now. So
I knew that he was going to make his way back to being my fault. I knew it was coming.
We have to. Like, we got to not necessarily make it your fault, but we got to talk about why it got pushed back a couple of weeks.
Right.
For something that we wanted to start, the week before Mother's Day. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to say it. What do you got?
So obviously the sports world's been pretty quiet.
Yes.
But I think I found some good ones, some in regards to UK and some in regards to people being really dumb. Mostly men saying really dumb things. Let's be honest.
That's what most of this segment is anyway.
Yeah.
The women don't usually put a lot of dumb shit out there.
No,
we see.
The men some ringers out.
The men definitely lead the dumb shit on Twitter.
Oh, for sure. So the first one, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from Doug Polk regarding the Sports Illustrated cover and how it's promoting obesity. Excuse me, obese where? Like,
Right. And
obese where?
his
She's
tweet was,
gorgeous.
I understand we want to focus more on positive body image, especially at a time when people are more critical of themselves than ever, primarily from social media. But putting obese people on the cover of Sports Illustrated sends a horrible message about health and well-being.
Listen, she's gorgeous, first off.
She is. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know where the obese is coming in at, but he just needs to
My
have
doctor called me
self-esteem.
obese. Like, it's right there in my chart that I'm obese. And I can't imagine
did you
what
guys see, though? Like, he bared himself further. He brought in the BMI chart that was from like 20 years ago to prove his point. Like, he just kept digging that hole.
I can't imagine what the women around Doug Polk must feel like.
Right.
Right? Like,
sorry.
Seriously. There are no words to just people that want to body shame other people on social media.
Especially in the year of 2022. Like, we have enough going on. We don't need that nonsense.
Right.
At all.
So to do that when, like, how many unhealthy body images have young girls grown up with because of swimsuit editions and Victoria's Secret models?
I mean, as a female, I can tell you, it has been pushed on us from the age of like 4. Like,
and now
it's consistent. It's still happening, obviously, but thankfully we're to the point now we're like, nah, heck you.
And now you're upset that they're putting a woman on the swimsuit issue cover that looks like her. Like, what are we doing? Like, who's one of the biggest, most famous models in the world?
Ashley Graham.
There you go. That is her name.
Yep.
And she's considered a
plus size
model.
She's like size like 10, I think. She's plus size. Yeah.
Right. You know, it's ridiculous that we're still doing the shit that Doug did.
Wow.
Come on, Doug. Be better.
He doesn't know how.
No, he absolutely does not.
No.
And there's another one. I don't know his name because I can't see the screen, let's be honest. Talking about granddad's plantar fasciitis and how it wasn't that bad and he should have played through it. And just people being so out of touch with what players go through or how painful something is. It's amazing. Like, I've had that and I didn't want to walk at all, much less, like, I couldn't imagine playing basketball games the minute he put in on that whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. His tweet was he had plantar fasciitis. It's not that big of a deal. Millions of people have it. Just an excuse. And it's Timberwolves are finals bound 2023. Dunkin' Donut 5 is his name.
Dunkin' Donuts. The 5 is an S, I'm pretty sure.
Right, but it's Dunkin' Donut. Like, when if you're gonna search to go and find his dumb shit, you got to put a 5 in there. So
okay, you know what? You're right. Most people have it. But do they play basketball for 40 minutes a game at a high level? No, they don't.
The fact that Kellen Grady was able to go out there and perform the way that he did for most of the season on those 2 bad feet speaks to the level of toughness that kid has.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that shit hurts.
Yeah,
a lot.
Like, I'm sure I've had plantar fasciitis before, but a very, very minor case of it. And I would not have been able to go out there and run up and down the floor and jump and do the things that he did on just that minor issue that I had. And he had it in both feet all summer long and all season long.
It's usually the people that don't do shit
or have never
says
done
it's
shit
not shit. Right. It's like, oh, that ain't shit. What?
Right, exactly.
Let's see you go out there, and they never have done anything. So they're like, oh,
let's see you go out there and do what Granddad did for that whole season.
Yep.
Right.
You know, he struggled at the end of the season, but it's to be expected dealing with what he dealt with the entire year.
Right.
Not to mention the injuries and the minutes he put in due to injuries to other players.
I was fixing to bring that up. He played a lot.
Yes.
He played. Didn't he have the most minutes on the team as far as average goes?
Yep.
It was like 30 minutes a game, right?
Yeah.
I think it was. I think the season average was like 36, but still, the end of the season,
that's a lot. Yeah. What do we got next?
It was the guy that was talking about how Ty just doesn't care about Kentucky, and he's just another name on the list of wanting to make money. And it's like,
Yep.
the guy, like, probably should have broken his ankle at one point. It's how bad it was. And then he still tried to play.
Yeah.
If he didn't
Right.
care, why? Like, I don't understand the thought process these people have when they say this. It doesn't click to me.
I don't know, because it was in response to Tay in one of his tweets where he was calling Ty more mature than 95% of our fan base over the
Also
Shaden
very
Sharp,
accurate.
over the Shaden Sharp situation.
Oh,
And
I'll
CRL
bring that
court at CRL court, his tweet was more mature in quotation marks. Ty is in the modern era. Look out for number one club just like Sharp. These guys could care less about UK, its legacy, and the BBN.
I mean,
Like,
I can get where people are upset with Sharp. I understand that. That was whatever. I get it.
Disappointment. You could be
But-
disappointed.
But Ty, really?
right.
Ty.
The kid who came back early from injury to try and play at Tennessee
Twice.
gets hurt again, and in that game, and then misses 2 more games.
Right.
Like,
And it
He-
was
and then he
clearly
was-
not
and then he
healthy
was
the
never
rest of the year.
right, he was never healthy
Clearly.
again after that.
Right.
And
But he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
no, he doesn't care. And Ty was out there giving the team and giving his teammates and the coaching staff and the fans, the people watching, giving us everything that he could give.
Right.
But the injury at that time was just too much for him, because when you're in the middle of the season, you don't have the time to get fully healthy.
And not to mention what he's done with his mom as well. Like,
Right.
not only was he
The
injured,
kidney failure that she's going through.
right?
Yeah.
Not only was he injured and could barely play, trying to get to the vet, but his mom's in kidney failure. He hadn't seen her in 3 months because she couldn't travel.
Since the
And yet
Tennessee
he's still
game.
out there, he's still out there trying to give 100%.
Yep.
But he doesn't care. Okay.
And let me point
Okay.
this out too. A kid that is clearly gone in the NBA bound, still tweeting out Kentucky stuff.
Right.
You
He's still
know,
on about Kentucky. 100%.
Still doing the L's down when he went to the Derby, still showing Kentucky love. And I mean, like, the kid cares.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
it's crazy.
Every kid that has been brought in, or I won't say every, but most of the kids that have been brought into Kentucky since Cal has been there, come back to the university.
At some
Still
point.
talk
yes.
about the university.
Yeah.
Credit Kentucky's program, Cal, and the university for them to be able to do and be the players that they are. So to sit there and act like these players don't care once they leave the university or once they get there, like it's completely hypocritical to what we actually know of what these players do.
But
Right.
people say things out loud that they shouldn't. But
Right.
it's Twitter, so they're like, "Oh, it's
Right.
fine. It's my
Right.
opinion."
And
It's very wrong, but that's okay.
And there's
Right.
nothing wrong as a player to look out for yourself, right?
Well,
Why-
no, because it's
why
your
is that a bad
livelihood.
thing? Why is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing to look out for yourself and to be worried about, okay, what do I need to do to get to that next level?
Well,
And
anybody else in
and-
any other situation would be the same way. Like, we
Exactly.
would be the same way as people, and we don't play. We don't have
Right.
that level of spotlight on us, but we
Right.
always take care of ourselves and our families first. So, I guess I don't understand the thought process as in, oh, well, they're only here for my entertainment. No, they're not.
No,
but okay.
they're not.
I don't get that people are mad that people chase dreams. Like, how are you mad that someone is
Because
chasing
they're
Right.
a dream?
entertaining them. That's why. So to them, they're there for UK only, and they're there for their purposes to be enjoyed, and that's
Right.
it. Like, screw them if they have dreams and goals and aspirations. That doesn't
Right.
count.
Right.
That's what I'm rooting for, is someone's success.
Right.
Yes.
Whatever.
Shit's
And-
crazy.
And that goes back, the people complaining about Shaden Sharp having a scholarship. Okay. It wasn't being used. It was sitting there empty. He didn't take a scholarship from somebody. Right?
That's the go-to, though. That's the
It is.
go-to.
It is. And then you see people saying, well, we would have had Nick Smith. Well, if we didn't have Sky Clark, we would have got Nick Smith. Yeah, you can say it either way. So I don't put a lot of stock into what a lot of these these guys that talk about these player situations and what they're doing and what they think they should be doing when they put that stuff out there, other than to bring them on and put them on the dumb shit.
Yeah, that was right.
That's
Fixing
the
to
best
say
part.
they're fun to make fun of.
Right. That's the only reason I even like entertain this stuff is because we need it for this segment.
Right.
You know?
And we've challenged over and over to end the segment.
Please
They
end the segment.
to.
Please.
They refuse to.
But the dumb shit still keeps coming.
It continues.
All right. What do you got next, Salena?
I'm gonna end with this one. So I don't know if you all have seen the little boy dancing in like
Yes.
T-ball to walk up music.
Yes.
The comments under that video.
Don't read the comments.
So the next one is a man, of course, speaking about how that's all that matters anymore is walk-up music. Even at high school level, that's all they care about, walk-up music. I'm like, this kid's like 4 years old. Like, why are you so bothered by a 4-year-old dancing to walk-up music?
Because it's
like,
contributing to the ruinization of all generations to come. And walk-up music is already more important than batting practice to high school kids. So he's got it. So he has to be pissed off at a 4-year-old breaking
Why
it down
is he
right
so
there,
miserable?
walking up to the plate. And
That was the
Listen.
coolest shit I saw
It was-
on Twitter.
it was
Listen,
awesome.
that boy was dancing because he didn't care. He was like, I'm having
Right.
fun. That's
There
all that
was-
mattered.
there-
He's 4.
and that's
what it's about.
And that's the problem is, like, if we all lived our lives like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, and the joy that they live their lives with, and the
Yep.
don't give a fucks that they live their lives with,
Yes.
how much better would this world be?
Amazing.
Instead of us people in our 30s and 40s, and not necessarily us three, but people in their 30s and
You have
40s
those bitter old men. The bitter
that
old
are
men.
are pissed off at the world for no reason.
They just
Other
just
than
jealous
they
of fans
probably
like that.
fucked up something in their lives to put them in the situation that they're in now. So now they're angry at everybody else for what they're
I just
living through.
Right.
I don't understand that. I can't.
It was that 1 minute video was so much fun. Just watching that kid
Yes.
dance
There's
up
just
to the tee.
So
And
much
then
joy.
As soon as they put the ball on the tee, he stopped.
It inspired
Yes.
me. It
Right.
inspired me, man.
Are
I'm
you
And then
gonna
telling
he
dance
you.
hit it.
around now too, Jay? You're gonna dance around everywhere,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
And then
Anytime
he
I'm
hit
walking
it.
into work.
And then he hit a T-ball. Then he hit a T-ball bomb after that.
Yep.
So, like, Jay was already dancing last night if you didn't see the video.
Yeah. I
I
was
didn't.
inspired by the kid, dude.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I had a dance party to a club pitch from the 2000s yesterday, so I'm with it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
How
Yeah,
could you
so-
not like that? I mean,
I
how
don't
can
know.
that
People are
not
just
make you
so bitter.
smile and like
It-
that
it
is
was
amazing?
So bitter.
It was the
Yeah.
best thing I saw on Twitter that day.
Hey, you kids,
down.
get off my lawn.
Right.
Same energy. Same energy. Yep.
Exactly. We gonna talk about this last one, or we want to end with that one?
I don't
End with
remember
something
that
that's
one.
kind of.
In all honest with you.
You don't remember the next one you sent me?
Nope.
What you got, JD?
Well, it's
What did I
about
send you?
Elon. It's about Elon. So we can talk
Oh,
about that,
that
or we
one.
cannot talk about that.
you know, I don't think that one should be brought up.
Okay.
That changes topics completely. It's a whole
Oh
other
yeah,
ballgame of nonsense.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. It
I mean,
changes everything. I
does
think
it
anybody that
belong
listens.
on dumb shit? Yes,
Yes.
1000%.
Yes.
Not on the podcast though. It's already out there. People have already seen it. It's fine.
Any-
Just leave it.
Anybody that's listening to it, the fact that I said, "Do you want to talk about Elon?" are gonna know what we're talking about. So we'll just
Yup.
leave it at that. Then.
That man just put him. He exposed him whole self that way. He exposed his whole self. And not
Exactly.
Elon either. Not Elon either. The other guy. They both fit though.
And that was the dumbest shit from Twitter this week. Man,
Thanks, guys.
it's a crazy. It's crazy out there. I mean,
It is.
it is what it is, and we'll continue to make fun of it or have fun with it rather, and try to combat with like, don't be like that.
Right.
Enjoy life, smile,
Enjoy life.
laugh, love people,
Exactly.
eat bugs or
bananas.
overripe
Those might have been
bananas.
termites, by the way.
I'm down with it.
Those might have been termites.
Maybe.
Caterpillars, worms, grub worms, termites, whatever it is, I'm down with it. A little hot sauce, you're good to go. But however, I am not down with mayonnaise and coffee. I'm not a coffee person anyway, and definitely not for the overripe banana. Absolutely not. But I will do the Bucks. But that's where I stand with it. Today's show was great, and thank you
Thank you,
for
Salena, for
joining
us.
for the dumb
Thanks for
shit.
having me.
And you can follow Salena on Twitter at KYSass.
Underscore. Don't
Is
forget
it-
the underscore.
There's an underscore, yes.
There's an
Okay.
underscore because I think there's another KY Sass.
I think so. Yeah, it was
I
taken
think
already.
so. Yeah.
Right, right.
So,
Tag on it.
So don't forget the underscore.
but yes, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Yes.
being the first of what we hope is many people coming on to do this segment with us and not just listen to it. So
It's fun.
And you're very
fun.
professional, I will say.
Oh,
Very.
thanks. I
So-
tried to be professional. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you were very. I mean, like I was not really hoping for like fuck that guy, fuck him, but
Well, but
you kept it. You kept it
she kept it PG.
calm and
I
collected.
am like that though, just not on a podcast. Like I'm the
Because-
same way in Twitter as I am in real life. So I just tone myself down a little bit.
Yeah, because sometimes you've heard the dumbest shit. Sometimes we go in and like,
Oh, I
and
know.
of course, I'm going to add some sound bites to this shit. So it's
Yeah. And apparently
Cannot
I
wait for
got,
that.
yeah.
when that whole how tall am I thing was going on, or how tall do you think I am? DLock54, I think is his Twitter handle. Said he thought I was 5'6". I'm like, dude, you're way off.
I
He's
get
like,
a lot of like 5'3s and 5'2s. I'm like, I give off short girl energy. Damn.
That
Okay.
and that's what he said. Like you give off a whole lot of Mighty Mouse energy. I'm like, and he's like, how you that tall when you give off that little man? I'm like, dude, what did I do? Just because I get like this dumb shit, and you think I'm short because I don't like the stupid people,
Right.
like, so
It's low tolerance for bullshit. What it is. Low tolerance for bullshit.
yeah, very very low tolerance for bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, we
but
appreciate
again,
you.
we will let you go, Salena, so you can finish off your. Have a nice day, and
yes, definitely.
we hope
Thank you so much.
When
Thanks,
we
guys.
get back around to getting some more people on here, we'll hopefully bring you back on again if you want to come on.
Definitely.
I'm down. Let me know.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Bye.
We'll see you.
See ya.
Man, that was great.
Yeah, it was awesome to have somebody on here who's not a media person or something like that to do this with us.
Right.
Again, so it's not just our voice on the dumb shit. It's somebody else that's leading this discussion, because I'm sure people get tired of hearing us say the same thing over and over and over again.
Right. So if you would like to be part of the dumb shit from Twitter this week, or social media, because there's all kinds of dumb shit, not only on Twitter, but Facebook, IG, wherever.
It's
you
everywhere.
can join us anytime. Just hit us up and we will do that. In the meanwhile, follow JD at Tiffin Wildcat, and you can follow myself at J Hayes KY on Twitter. Anything else to add, JD?
No, I think we covered just about everything that's going on in the Kentucky sports world right now, because I don't think we're going to start hearing anything, with the assistant coach. Probably in the next week or so, I would imagine we hear something.
Yeah,
because now you're getting into the time where kids are back at school, or getting close to that time. Same thing with football. They're going to be back on campus soon and start their summer stuff and going into the fall. So, yeah, I think we'll start. There's going to start being more news trickling out and stuff that we're going to hear going forward, and then over the next couple of weeks, to where we'll have more to talk about than just random headlines and football head coaches arguing over stupid stuff.
Yeah. Well, the banana and the bugs is awesome to me. The kid dancing on his way up to bat was awesome to me.
Awesome.
There's good stuff out there. Find it. I'm your guy, Jay Hayes, and he is
JD Hall.
And we are Religiously Kentucky.
Sadly, we're at the end. You've been listening to Religiously Kentucky. They say all good things must come to an end, and this was a damn good thing. But the good news for you is we'll be back soon. Thank you for listening to Religiously Kentucky. As you can see, we are not passing around the offering plates. Instead, we just ask you that you tell a friend about the show and tell them that the podcast is available on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And you can find us on all social media platforms. Until next time, Big Blue Nation, this is Religiously Kentucky, signing off.